James. Hi, my name is James, and this is James Loves Games, and today I want to talk about a life lesson that I've learned from the series Dragon Ball by acclaimed artist Akira Toriyama. I'm sure we're all familiar with Dragon Ball. It spawned comic books, anime, TV shows, movies, video games, the whole spectrum of media. It has dominated the anime industry for the last 30 years, and it's been a part of my life for at least the last 25 years. Today, I want to talk about how failure is a requirement for success. Specifically, how the characters in Dragon Ball have to overcome their obstacles and have to fail over and over and over in order to become better, to succeed in overcoming those obstacles. A lot of the main characters in the series are Saiyans. They're these aliens that come from another planet, Planet Vegeta. They're super strong beings, and partway through the Namek saga, Vegeta discovers that as a Saiyan, if his life force gets taken down to the point where he's almost dead, and he somehow manages to bounce back from that and get back to his regular strength, he'll be more powerful than he was before the fight. If you have a challenge that you need to overcome, you can't just wait until you're perfect and you think that you're going to take over this obstacle perfectly before you try it. You have to try it and you have to fail. You have to be willing to step into the arena and fight that fight in order to get totally beat up, look at the mistakes you made and say, I'm not going to do that again. I'm going to improve. There's a really famous scene in Dragon Ball Z during the Namek saga where Frieza has appeared and they're still waiting on Goku to get healed in the little healing pod on Frieza's ship. And so you've got Vegeta, Krillin, and Gohan trying to fend off Frieza. And none of them are strong enough to take him on. But Vegeta knows that if he gets close to death and then gets revived or gets his health and energy back, he's going to be much more powerful than he was before. And so he turns to Krillin and says, you've got to beat me up to the point where I'm almost dead so that Dende can resurrect me, give me my energy back so I'm more powerful to take on Frieza. And he actually does it. You know, it's a famous scene where Krillin, shoots a beam through his chest and he falls down almost dead. Dende doesn't want to heal him because Vegeta's kind of an evil dude at the time. But he ends up healing him and he comes back stronger than ever. Not quite strong enough to take on Frieza, but this is the process. You have to get beaten up and get torn down in order to come back stronger to take on those challenges down the road. Another lesson that kind of ties in with this one is that there's always going to be a stronger enemy around the corner. And this is a common theme throughout all of Dragon Ball. I'm currently rereading through the manga series in Japanese for like the third or fourth time. And I'm catching a lot of things that I hadn't caught in previous read-throughs. And one of them is this theme that there's always somebody stronger than you. So you've got to keep training. You've got to keep trying. And in fact, earlier on in the series, when Goku and Krillin are still little kids, they're training under Master Roshi and they enter into the World Fighting Tournament. And Master Roshi himself joins in the tournament because he doesn't want either of them to win the tournament and make them think that they're the best in the world and that they'll stop trying. They'll stop growing. They'll quit their training because they think they're the best. And so he joins the tournament anonymously in disguise to beat both of them, to make them think, no matter how strong we get, there's always going to be someone stronger than us. So we need to keep training and keep pushing ourselves. He ends up almost losing the tournament to Goku in the end, but he barely scrapes by. And Goku says himself, wow, what a realization. There's actually people who are stronger than me. I never knew. I thought that I had reached my peak already. And so the lesson was learned at an early age for Goku. And later on in the series, you see this theme come up over and over again, where Goku fights Piccolo, and he's the strongest he's ever fought. Well, he defeats Piccolo, and then Raditz shows up, and he and Piccolo have to team up to fight Raditz. Well, they take down Raditz, and then Nappa and Vegeta show up, and so all of them have to work together to fight these two. And so Goku ends up barely scraping by and kind of defeating Vegeta. He escapes. Well, they end up on Namek, and Frieza's there. And Frieza's more powerful than anybody in the universe. And they beat Frieza. And then they get back to Earth, and Cell! And he becomes more powerful, and they have to fight him. And then Majin Buu. And it's just endless. The parade of monstrosities that show up that they have to fight that are stronger than the last one over and over again. And so this is another allegory for life. There are always going to be tougher challenges around the corner, and you have to be prepared to face them. You have to keep training. You have to keep working hard and trying your best to prepare yourself for those new challenges. I think Dragon Ball is such a fantastic story to read and to watch because it teaches these lessons. And, you know, it's popular among young men, especially, mostly for the fighting and that kind of power fantasy that young men have. But the important lessons to glean from it are what I've talked about today. You have to try and fail over and over again in order to succeed at something. And you have to stay sharp and keep training. You have to keep getting better at whatever it is that you're doing if you want to succeed, because there's always going to be another challenge around the corner, and you have to be ready to take it on. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope it was informative and entertaining. Please let me know in the comments what you think. What are your favorite moments from the Dragon Ball Z series? And what life lessons have you learned from the show? Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time on...